So for 24 years, I've been, as you know, interested in helping groups, whether that be community groups, teenagers, universities, businesses, boardrooms, any kind of group or team, to move from contempt to curiosity. So that is from a situation where there's fixed mindset, prejudice, discrimination, waste, conflict, that's not going anywhere, more to a position where there's growth mindset, where there's collaboration, curiosity, where people are able to work together to update their learning and to work in an agile way. So this, from contempt to curiosity. And I use clean questions to do that. And for years, people would say, well, what is it that you do? And I can go, well, we kind of ask questions, stuff happens, things change. And I know how to do it, but I didn't always know, I wasn't always able to articulate just what it was that meant that over time, groups that are exposed to clean language and systemic modeling tend to move from here to here. And so just recently, particularly with all the drama-free conversations that we've been doing, I've been thinking, all right, I think I've got it. When people are in conflict, fixed mindset, prejudice, waste, they are usually lacking one of three things. When people are in drama, they feel unsafe. They feel that they're threatened in some way, they can't speak their mind freely, and they don't feel safe. And so it triggers their fight, flight, freeze responses. Or they don't feel they belong. So it's not that their safety is threatened so much, but their social belonging is missing. So either they're neurodivergent and they feel that they have to mask to fit in, or they're a minority in a majority team, and they have to manage racial prejudice, they have to manage prejudice of sexuality or gender-based prejudices. And they're not able to belong as they are. They're having to fit in to somebody else's rules. Or they're lacking their freedom. They've got good ideas, but no one's interested in them. They'd like to bring more of themselves and be more emotional at work, but they have to be professional because there are rules around here that don't allow them to be their full selves. So I started to bring together that these are the three key components that you get more of in the teams that we work with and that are lacking in teams that call us in. So safety, belonging, and freedom. And so then I started to think, well, what is it that a clean question does? And I think that a clean question is a micro interaction that creates those three components. So if I'm working with my teammate, Emily, and she says, Caitlin, the way that you're running meetings isn't working for me. And I say, okay, it's a bit like what? And she says, well, for me to work at my best, it's like I need to stack dominoes, very carefully put the right domino in the right place, get them all stacked up ready. Then I can hit the domino and I can work really fast and I'm very effective. She said, but when I'm working with you, it's like I don't know where the dominoes are, I can't stack them, I can't work properly. So under normal circumstances, I might listen to the stacking dominoes and go, oh, how rigid, how ordered, how for me. But because I've got clean questions and a bit of systemic modelling training, I can say, so when you're stacking dominoes, what happens just before you stack those dominoes? Or when you stack those dominoes and then you can tap one and work really fast, what kind of fast? Is there anything else when you can work fast like that? And in that moment, I keep Emily safe. My clean question constrains me. It constrains what's allowed to come out of my mouth. And it keeps her safe from me, and it keeps me safe from my prejudice about her way of working. At the same time, she'll then answer that and says things like, well, when I stack them right in the right place, She said, then I'm confident, I can see the whole picture, I know where things fit in. And so I listened to that bit and then I'm go, okay, so you feel confident when you stack them in the right place. Anything else about that confidence? I accept and extend what she says. So not only is she safe for me and am I safe from my own prejudice, but now I'm creating a sense of belonging. I say, you and your experience matter to me. And we can swap it over. So she can say to me, what about you, Caitlin? When you're working at your best, you're like what? And I say, well, when I'm working at my best, I'm in a mosh pit. Bodies flying. There's a real sense of awareness and rapport. We're in the moment, but it's really exciting. And she'll say, well, there's bodies flying. Anything else about those bodies flying? I'm like, yeah, it means that when unexpected things happen, we can move really easily without any drama, catch the body, pass it back, and still carry on enjoying ourselves. It's to do with the continuity. And as we ask each other the clean questions, she's kept safe from her prejudice about the way I work. I'm kept safe from her prejudice about the way I work.
Oh.
We start to build up understanding. And she's like, oh, there's space for me to be in my mosh pit, space for her to be in a dominoes. And then we can go into freedom. So when I say to her, is there anything else about stacking them correctly? I'm constrained, but she is free to answer any way that her system is experiencing it. So she learns something new and I learn something new. Similarly, when she says to me, what's important, anything else when the bodies are flying, I'm like, oh yeah, it's to do with the ease. It's to do with the no fluster. It's to do with you catch it, you move it. Even huge things become easy when you've got the rapport needed to be in a mosh pit. So we also start to have a real sense of the values that are important to each of us. And then the magic happens. Because then I can say to her, so when I'm having a meeting, what's the smallest thing that I could do for you so that you could still stack your dominoes? And she'll say, well, could you let me know, now's a time for free-for-all. Could you let me know, Emily, whatever your first thoughts are welcome at this point. I'm like, yep, I could signpost. Now we're moshing. And she says, is there anything I could do for you? When she says, I know you don't like it when I send you long emails asking for lots of detail. She said, anything I could do for you? I said, yeah. I said, before a meeting, so that you get the overall picture, could you call me up and could we have a talking meeting so I can move my body, walk around, and I'll answer your calls, not in an email, which I find constraining, but on a phone call. Yep, that's fine. So what we've taken is two diverse, that we are neurodivergent, and we have preferences, very diverse preferences for the way to work. But a few clean questions have space for her, space for me, and then we create space where we can work safely, turn up to work fully, and be free to be the best that we can be. So that is the new idea I'm having. It's the micro interaction of asking 2 or 3 clean questions of one another is an antidote to microaggression. It's the opposite. It's what constrains your prejudice, creates the opportunity for learning, and then creates safety, belonging, and freedom between people so that you move from contempt to curiosity. And then between us, it inspires capability, which is going to be the next book.